It was primary night in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, the kind of electric evening where the air hummed with the promise of power, red, white, and blue banners fluttering under the dome of the state capitol like flags of false hope. Confetti rained down on the stage as senatorial candidate Marcus Hale raised his arms in victory, his megawatt smile beaming for the cameras. I stood just off stage, clipboard in hand, the 25-year-old campaign whiz kid who'd orchestrated his grassroots surge from obscurity to frontrunner. As his trusted ally and digital strategist, I turned viral memes into votes, TikTok trends into turnout. But as the crowd chanted, "Hail for Senate," a chill snaked down my spine. Hours earlier, I'd stumbled upon the email that shattered everything. Marcus wasn't my mentor, he was my manipulator, using me as a pawn in a web of corruption that could topple empires. What followed wasn't just revenge, it was a meticulously timed exposé that didn't crush his campaign, it incinerated it, leaving ashes that still smolder in the annals of American political scandals. And me? I emerged not as a victim, but as the architect of his downfall. My name is Mia Rodriguez, and my story starts in the humid suburbs of Miami, Florida, where politics wasn't a career, it was survival. Growing up in a Cuban-American family, I watched my abuela rally neighbors against unfair housing laws, her voice a force that could bend city council ears. By 18, I was interning for local reps, trading sleep for strategy sessions. College at Georgetown University in D.C. sharpened my edge. I majored in political science, minored in digital media, dreaming of making real change in a system rigged against the little guy. Post-grad, I landed a gig on a congressional campaign, but it fizzled. That's when Marcus Hale entered the picture, or rather, slid into my LinkedIn DMs in early 2024. Marcus was the epitome of Southern charm, tall, silver-haired, with a drawl that could sell ice to Eskimos. At 52, he was a state legislator eyeing the U.S. Senate, promising progressive reforms on healthcare and immigration, music to my idealistic ears. "Mia, I've seen your work on voter turnout apps," his message read. "Join my team. Let's flip Georgia blue." I bit. We met at a bustling coffee shop in Midtown Atlanta, where he painted visions of a new South, equitable education, climate action, all wrapped in bipartisan appeal. He hired me as his digital director, paying a modest salary but promising equity in his movement. We were a dynamic duo, him the face, me the brains behind the screens. I built his online presence from scratch at Hail for Change on every platform, amassing 200K followers with targeted ads, live Q&As, and viral challenges like #GeorgiaRising, where locals shared stories of struggle and hope. For months, it was exhilarating. We'd huddle in our cramped campaign HQ in a converted warehouse, poring over polls over late-night pizza from Domino's. Marcus treated me like family, introducing me to donors at swanky galas in Buckhead mansions, where champagne flowed and deals were whispered. His wife, Elena, even baked me empanadas, calling me the daughter we never had. But subtle red flags waved. Marcus would vanish for private meetings with lobbyists from big pharma and oil giants, the very industries he publicly railed against. I'd catch him on calls, voice low, "Make sure the funds are untraceable." I'd shrug it off as paranoia, politics is dirty, right? Then there was his ally, network, shadowy consultants who funneled dark money, always one step ahead of FEC filings. The betrayal crept in like fog over the Chattahoochee River. It started small, my ideas dismissed in meetings, credit going to his chief of staff, a slick operator named Derek. "Mia, stick to the tweets," Marcus would say with a patronizing pat on the shoulder. My follower growth stalled as anonymous bots attacked my personal accounts with trolls accusing me of radical agendas. I confided in Elena, but she averted her eyes. "Politics tests loyalties, Mija." The turning point came during a strategy retreat in Savannah in October 2025. We'd rented a historic inn, brainstorming attack ads against his Republican rival. I left my laptop charging in the conference room during a break. When I returned, Marcus was hunched over it, furiously typing. He slammed it shut, feigning surprise. "Just checking emails, kiddo." That night, insomnia struck. I logged into my cloud drive remotely and froze. Files tampered with. My voter data analytics altered to skew results, emails forwarded to unknown addresses. Digging deeper, I found a hidden folder synced from Marcus's device. Spreadsheets of illicit donations from corporate PACs, quid pro quo deals for policy favors. Worse, there were memos outlining a plan to frame me for campaign finance violations if things went south. The young Latina scapegoat. One note read, easy to discredit in red districts. My blood ran cold. Marcus wasn't building a movement. He was erecting a house of cards, using my heritage and hustle to appeal to diverse voters while selling out to the highest bidder. And Elena? Complicit, her empanadas, a cover for laundering funds through her nonprofit. The pain hit like a hurricane, betrayal not just professional, but personal. I paced my hotel room, tears streaming, replaying every mentorship moment as manipulation. In America's political arena, trust is currency, and he'd counterfeited mine. But rage ignited resolve. I wouldn't quit dramatically. I'd play the long game, gathering intel like a spy in a Tom Clancy novel. Back in Atlanta, I feigned normalcy, smiling through staff meetings while secretly backing up evidence on encrypted drives. I reached out to old Georgetown contacts, journalists at the Washington Post and Politico, whispering hints without revealing sources. I even created a burner identity online, Whistleblower, posting cryptic teasers on Reddit's r/politics to build buzz. Suspense mounted as primaries approached. Marcus's polls soared, thanks to my strategies he now claimed as his. He announced a major endorsement from a tech billionaire at a rally in Macon, fireworks exploding like omens. I attended, heart-hammering, knowing my plan was coalescing. Phase 1. Infiltration. Using skills from a coding bootcamp I'd taken covertly, I planted an innocuous app on his phone during a tech demo, nothing illegal, just a tracker for public data. It revealed more, texts with Derek plotting to sabotage rivals with deepfakes, funded by offshore accounts. I compiled a dossier, emails, bank transfers, even audio from a bugged coffee meet, ethically sourced via a PI friend, or so I'll claim. The clock ticked toward election night, January 2026. Wait, no, primaries were in March, but let's amp the drama. An early caucus event on January 7, 2026, in a nod to Iowa's influence. Marcus was set to clinch the nomination. That's when I struck. Hours before his victory speech, I leaked the exposé anonymously to a consortium of outlets, CNN, MSNBC, even Fox for balance. Titled, The Hale Deception, Corruption Behind the Charm, it dropped like a bombshell at midnight. Screenshots flooded timelines, #HaleFail trending within minutes. Reporters swarmed HQ, donors fled like rats from a sinking ship. But the real crusher? My live stream. As Marcus took the stage, beaming obliviously, I went public on my new platform, at Mia Exposes Truth. I'm Mia Rodriguez, the fake ally, who built his empire. I began, voice steady despite the adrenaline. I unveiled the evidence in real time, timelines of theft, audio clips of his slurs against minorities, ironic for his inclusive platform, and the scapegoat plan. Viewers surged to millions. Celebrities like Lin-Manuel Miranda retweeted, calling it brave AF. The crowd turned, boos echoed as Secret Service hustled him off stage. Elena's face on camera? Priceless, a mask cracking. Chaos ensued. FEC investigations launched overnight. Indictments followed for campaign fraud, bribery. Marcus's campaign imploded, donors sued, staff scattered, his Senate bid DOA. He resigned his state seat in disgrace, facing years in federal prison. Derek flipped, testifying against him for a plea deal. Elena's nonprofit shuttered amid audits. The twist that blew minds? In the dossier, I uncovered Marcus's real motive. He was bankrolled by foreign interests, a puppet in a larger influence op traced to shadowy PACs with ties to election meddlers. My exposé didn't just crush one campaign. It sparked congressional hearings, reforming dark money laws. Now, from my DC office as a consultant for ethical campaigns, I sip cafecito, reflecting on the ruins. Revenge in politics isn't about vengeance, it's about justice, exposing the fake allies who prey on dreamers like me. Marcus? He's a footnote, campaigning for conjugal visits. I'm the storm that reshaped the landscape, unbreakable in America's arena of ambition. But beware, in this game, today's ally could be tomorrow's Exposé. The end of his era? Just the start of mine.